Oh, Dolphins fans, what's up? Thanks for joining. Thanks for checking out the channel. I appreciate it. I have a little itty bitty corner of YouTube, and it means a lot when you guys come in here and listen to little old me talk. And today we're gonna let people jump in if they want. In a second here, I'll put the link up for people to join. Got a couple things to take care of, a little bit of housekeeping. Apologies for being a few minutes late to the stream. The life of a truck driver. Just because you have a truck break down doesn't mean you can just go home. You still have to finish your job before you can go home, and sometimes that means you get off late, like today for me. I walked in the door, ran in here, threw my jersey on, and started the stream. So a little bit out of breath right now. I have, in case you didn't see, I have this new jersey, and it's number 36. And I'm wondering if those of you, if any of you know who number 36 is. You should, because I talk about him all the time. And I finally got his jersey. It finally arrived, and I'm so happy. It fits. It's comfortable. It is my jersey for the year. Every year, I'll buy a new jersey before the season starts, and that's the only jersey I usually allow myself to buy. This year, it is Mr. Storm Duck. I was super excited to get it. I've been waiting for just the right jersey to order, and it finally became available. I got it. I'm happy. Coincidentally, Storm Duck rocked out a 81 PFF grade for his play last week against the Bears. I know it's just PFF, but I'm telling you guys, Storm Duck is going to be legit this year. He was legit last year. People just didn't give him his credit. But this year he's looking a lot better even. I'm really excited to see him play. So much so, got his jersey. So welcome to it. Kosa, Jorge, thanks for joining, guys. Appreciate you. While we're getting started here, make sure you guys throw those likes down as we get going, because it does help get other people in the building. And ultimately, that's the goal. We want more and more people to show up. Let's see here. I'm still learning this fantastic StreamYard setup, and it's taken a little bit of getting used to, but I think I'm starting to make friends with it. I think I'm finally starting to figure this out. Okay. Now we go here and we do this. Perfect. All right, the link is up in case people want to jump in and chat. All you got to do is click that link. It'll walk you through it. Just make sure you have some kind of camera and audio, or if you don't want to do the camera part, you can just do audio. The settings there for you to click off your camera and only have audio to join. Either way is fine, should you decide to join. I would just ask that you try not to do it when you're driving your car. I would hate for something terrible to happen, talking on YouTube and driving your car and getting in a car accident or something like that. All right. Yeah, I kind of had a little bit of a learning curve here between going with the new StreamYard, from going from Streamlabs to StreamYard. It made a big difference. Took a little bit of getting used to. And now, on top of that, I got this new computer that I'm still making friends with. It's just been a lot of refamiliarizing myself. Okay. We have no new injuries to update anybody on, thank goodness. Practice does start tomorrow for the Dolphins in Detroit. They'll have two mixed practices with the Lions before the preseason game on Saturday. That game's on Saturday, so make sure you guys are paying attention so you can go watch it on Saturday, not Sunday. We have signed 2 running backs. I didn't get a chance to cover this yet because I was away from the internet yesterday. 2 new running backs that we signed, Mike Boone and Aaron Shamklin. And to make room, we had to put Alexander Madison on the injured reserve, and we also had to release Monterey Baldwin. So we have room for them. We got a couple extra running backs. I would not expect these running backs to make the team, at least barring something crazy, barring them balling out and really, really taking over the spots that are already out there. I would think mostly they're just going to be camp bodies. But yeah, that's pretty much where we're at with that. And like I said, you don't really need more than 4 or 5 running backs on the team anyway. I would like to have 5 ideally, but things change, people change. Who knows what this front office is going to end up wanting to do? I know Mike McDaniel would like to have 5 running backs on the team. Obviously, he uses them as more than running backs, but so that's where we're at. So our as of right now, that puts us back up. I think to 5 or 6 running backs at the moment. You have Devon Achane, Jalen Wright, Ollie Gordon. You have Mike Boone, and you have Shamplin. So that's 5. That's 5. 5 running backs. Yeah. Like I said, the 3 that you expect to make the team, especially now that Madison is out, you're really expecting Ollie Gordon to step up. He had a fantastic game against the Bears and has been doing well in practice. Ever since the pads came on, he's really made a name for himself, and I would expect that to continue. I think he's looking at this as a big opportunity for him to lock down that running back 3 position. And as of right now, frankly, he's playing better than Jalen Wright is. So, I mean, will that continue? I don't know. But right now, Ollie Gordon is ranked 3rd on the depth chart, but I would have him. I'd have him above Jalen Wright if it was based on performance in camp this year. I'd have Jalen Wright above him. Or I'm sorry, I'd have Ollie Gordon above Jalen Wright. Zach Wilson is still above Quinn Ewers in the depth chart, and probably deservedly so, especially after last week when he had 2 fumbles and lost both of them. And they were both so bad. And like I said, I'm not saying give up on Quinn Ewers. I'm not that guy. I'm not going to say throw it all away after one preseason game, guys. That's not what I'm saying here. But I am saying that he left a lot to be desired there. And usually with a rookie, you expect, a learning curve. You expect him to struggle here and there. And that's what happened. Quinn Ewers had a rough game. So we'll see how he bounces back, see how he does against Detroit. I would expect him to improve a little bit on some things, and I definitely would not expect him to have a bunch of turnovers next week or this coming week against Detroit. But you can never say for sure. 2 turnovers in a half of football. That's unreal. And like I said, they were bad because it was an awareness thing. Finspin, what's up, buddy? How you doing? Good to see you. They were bad turnovers. I really want to just focus on Ewers just for a second. They were bad because they were awareness turnovers. It was Quinn Ewers flushing himself out of the pocket once too early, and then another time he flushed out at the right time, but he was paying zero attention to the pursuit. You leave the pocket, you have to be aware of what's behind you. And he had no clue, and he was carrying the ball at his side, slightly in front of him at his side in one hand, like it was a piece, it was like a milk jug. And you got to protect the football. Even if you're not a running back, if you're a quarterback, you still have to do it. What up, CB? Good to see you, buddy. I wanted to show everybody, just so you guys see this. I got this Storm Duck jersey on, and I'm wearing it every game this year. Storm Duck is the man. He's going to be showing everybody what he's made of this year. I'm telling you. He's my guy. He's going to rock it this year. So, yeah, Quinn Ewers, it's one game. It's not the end of the world. He's a rookie. He's got to learn this stuff. Hopefully he takes this as a learning opportunity. Never carry the ball like that, ever. I don't care if you're the quarterback or not. You never carry a football like that. Anytime someone carries a football like that, bad things happen. I don't care if you're a quarterback. Got to. That's right, rocking that Storm Duck. I just got it. I've been waiting for this jersey for weeks. So I was waiting for just the right color, just the right jersey. I wanted one of the game style jerseys. I didn't want a cheap one. So I waited and waited and waited, and it finally came out. I jumped on it. I'm so happy. That's my one jersey for the year. I actually might make an exception this year and get one of the rivalry jerseys that come out, depending on how they turn out. I haven't seen one yet. Nobody has. So that's, hey, CB, that's a signed Kader Kohu game worn jersey, man. That's the real deal. It's got the authentication on the bottom of the 8, and it's got the authentication tag right above it on the right side. That's the real deal, man. That's my prize. I'm waiting for the frame box to come in so I can put it in the frame and hang it proper. But for now, I had to display it. It is a little sad just because he's out, but I still love that Kader Kohu. I love Kader Kohu too, and it's a trend, right? I was a walk-on in college, and I really had to fight for a position on the team, and I gravitate towards those players, as a lot of us do, right? I'm not the only one that feels that way. So Kader Kohu and Storm Duck, those undrafted free agents that just made a spot for themselves on the team through effort, hard work, dedication. That's what I like to see, and that it's not a mystery of why Kohu and Storm Duck are two of my favorite players on the team, just because of their work ethic, their attitude, and the results that they've created for themselves. They didn't get anything handed to them at all. They came in on minimal, weekly contracts. That's how it was for them. So super awesome. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, like I said, with the Miami Vice stuff, it really could turn out looking cool, or it could turn out looking absolutely horrible. So if it turns out to look cool, if I like it enough, I'll go ahead and order one. But I'm not too sure if it's going to end up being cool enough. If it does turn out looking cool, I'm probably going to get a Jordan Brooks jersey just because, or a Sealer jersey. I'm not sure yet. Notice I said Sealer and not Zealer. Or Zyler. The comment is up on the board. If you find my name up there, it's shown. It's so you guys can join if you choose to. No pressure. If you want to come in and talk, you're more than welcome to. So yeah, Quinn Ewers got to do better with what he presented in the preseason game. Zach Wilson, it's pretty much what I expected from Zach Wilson. This is standard Zach Wilson. It's preseason, so I'm not going to get all worked up. I do feel like he's a better backup quarterback than anything else we've had in a long time. So, yes, I know Skylar Thompson had a great game, but it's Skylar Thompson, and he has great games in preseason. That's what he does. He is preseason MVP no matter what team he's on, and then he turns into Skylar Thompson. It's the same for Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson always has good camps, and then things happen. So we'll see how it goes. But right now, I'm okay with Zach Wilson being our number 2. I think that Ewers is right where he needs to be right now. Hopefully he learns and plays better next week against the Lions. We'll see. Jalen Wright, really, as far as running back goes, Jalen Wright was the disappointment for me last week. Just last week, not like the entire camp. Not saying Jalen Wright's going to be a failure or a bust this year. I'm just saying last week he had a rough week. He didn't do well in practice, didn't do well in the game against the Bears, and it showed. It looked like he was running in cement. It just wet cement. It didn't look good from Jalen Wright, and I hope that he can do better. What's up, Elwood? What's up, Aqua? What do you mean it's not? What do you mean it's Sealer and not xylophone? Oh my goodness. Yeah, it bugs me. A lot of people mispronounce things. Like, I can understand like Savaianaya getting mispronounced because that's a tough one to say. I could understand back in the day when we first got Easy E and everybody was like Azukama, Azukama. I can get that. But when it's Sealer and when it's McDaniel and not McDaniels, I can't stand it when people say that. Oh, it drives me nuts. A little look deep dive into my brain. It drives me nuts. It makes me want it's like nails on a chalkboard to me when people say McDaniels. Oh, so anyway, that's where I'm at with that. Okay. Yeah, so Jalen Wright is really the disappointment of the running back room right now. Right now, not the end of the world. Like I said, I'm not writing him off. It's just he's the one that really needs to step up. Oh my goodness. Yeah, when Trump said to his name, holy cow, that was absolutely horrible. He's got to stay healthy, he says. And then I can't even remember how he said it. It was absolutely horrible. One of the worst efforts at pronouncing Tagovailoa I've ever heard. And we've heard bad ones before, So that was rough. Westbrook-Akine really stepped up and had a couple, I think one really good catch. I think it was just one, but he played well. He was in there for a couple blocks too. Made a couple blocks on some outside run plays. I really like Nick Westbrook, and he's really stepped up this last week. Hopefully he can continue that, Pharaoh Brown was, I don't know if you guys saw it, but there was 2 plays where Pharaoh Brown laid some blocks. And holy crap, that man is a beast. He is a man amongst boys during that Bears game. And I want to see more of him. And like I said, I'm not worried about the catching. I just want to see him make more blocks. I want to see him lay more blocks like he did. It was impressive. So those are kind of some people that I'm looking at, As far as offensive line goes, Larry Borum, I wanted to touch on him a little bit. He had a couple whoopsies during the game, but Larry had a pretty decent presentation for a game film from the Bears game. I'm not saying it was perfect, but it was definitely better than I expected him to present. So I want to see him continue to show that and do better. I'm not sure. I didn't really get to see much of Germain Ifedi. I'm not really sure about Germain Ifedi right now. We'll kind of leave that up to, maybe another week of preseason. Let's see how he continues, how he grows. He's a new addition, so I'm going to give him a little bit of, room. The starting 5 for our offensive line looked good. They did. They laid good blocks, and I can't even say actually all 5 because Aaron Brewer wasn't there. But I was impressed with the offensive line, especially the left side. They did really well in that Bears game, and I want to see them continue. I'm assuming they'll probably get 1 or 2 possessions in this Lions game to play. I would expect our starting five linemen to get opportunities to play here and there, but not much at all. But they did well when they had a chance. Keon Smith kind of got stepped on in that last game. He got a decent amount of playing time, and he was not good. And that's a shocker because he had a great camp, a fantastic camp, and I was hoping to see a little more out of Keon Smith. But like I said, this is only after the first week of preseason. Got plenty of time. Ewers was pretty bad. Like you must have just missed it, Cliff. I was talking about him a second ago. It was pretty bad. What was he, like 5 of 18 or something like that? 7 of 18. Real low yardage. Had a couple good passes, but the 2 fumbles and the lackadaisical attention to carrying the ball and holding on to the ball was horrible. Pocket presence was weak. Didn't have a very good idea of where pressure was coming from when he was in the pocket, and that's, you have to have better pocket presence than that in the NFL. Oh, you're good, Cliff. You're good. No worries. Yeah, he's got to do better. And like I said, I wouldn't say that he's going to be cut because I don't see anybody else that would be better in that position right now. And like I said, this was 1 week, and he's a brand new quarterback in the NFL. So I'm not saying, and I never was of the camp that Quinn Ewers is going to save the Dolphins. He's going to be the next starting quarterback. Tua gets hurt, Quinn Ewers is going to get thrown in there, and Miami's never going to look back. I was never in that camp. I recognize that he's a rookie. He needs to grow and spend some time. We'll see how it goes with him. I don't think he's going to get cut, but right now I don't see him taking over the second string quarterback position from Zach Wilson. I just don't see that. Things could happen. Right. Exactly, Elwood. That's right there. That's exactly what it is. It's 7th round. I don't think he's a bust right now. It's way too early to say that, right? None of us can say that. But what we can say is he needs to work on some things. He needs to get better. And that's what you would expect from a 5th, 6th, 7th round pick. You'd expect them to have a lot to work on. They need to improve. There's a reason that they were low draft picks. So, or high round, I guess, is how you word it. So yeah, he needs to get better. Quinn Ewers needs to improve. And I'm sure that he will work on a lot of this. I don't think the coaches are going to let that slide for very long. So hopefully he improves. And we have this next game coming up in preseason against the Lions, and we're going to get a second chance to see these players. And this is where we have more information to gather on these players like Quinn Ewers. We have another opportunity to watch them in action against a competitive NFL team. And likely, he won't get much play time against the number ones because I don't think the Lions are going to play many of their number ones. But there might be a possession or two. And usually what the Dolphins do is they'll, start one of their backup quarterbacks in one of these preseason games, and then they'll give the other quarterback the start in the next one. So I would anticipate at some point Quinn Ewers getting an opportunity to play against the 1s and 2s. It might be a small sample size, but he'll get that opportunity at some point here in preseason, or at least most number 1s and 2s. And we'll have a bigger sample size to look at and evaluate him as a player. So we'll see. Yeah, and Elwood, you're right there. Zach Wilson does have wheels. He has the ability to create space and move, and he does need to take advantage of that. But right now, what the coaches are wanting right now is they're not wanting game-winning sacrifices and plays that are going to guarantee you a first down. What they're looking for right now is situational football. So they want their quarterback to look to throw the ball, right? I do think Zach Wilson can run, and I think that the Dolphins know that. And I think that when it comes to regular season play, if Zach Wilson is in the game, that's going to be more than an option for him for sure. I just wouldn't expect it much in the preseason. Plus, he can end up getting really hurt, and they don't want quarterback injuries this year at all. Josh, what's up, dude? How you doing, man? So yeah, I think that there's a point where this can turn into some positive plays, and Jets and Patriots and Bills fans are at the point right now. Yep, that's one of Zach Wilson's MOs. He gets those happy feet, and that's that is part of the problem with him for sure. And this is a new situation for Zach, and hopefully that this gives him the opportunity to learn new things. Sometimes just a change in location and a change in your environment can encourage learning, So hopefully this is one of those situations where he has a chance to learn things that he hasn't necessarily learned up to this point, or at least made progress in enough. So like I said, I'm not giving up on any of the quarterbacks right now. I think the way they're ranked, Tua, Zach Wilson, Quinn Ewers, is perfect for right now. And I think that Zach Wilson can be a serviceable backup quarterback on this team. But he needs to grow just like Quinn Ewers does. They all do. Tua needs to get better at things too. That's why we practice. That's why there's preseason. So, I'm more than happy. I'm more than happy to sit down and watch these players in preseason games. It's exciting in a whole different way. Not we need to win this game. I want to see victories. I want to see touchdowns. It's an individual player evaluation smorgasbord of information, and I just love watching preseason for that. To be able to watch these players grow. We have an establishing preseason game for these players. They did things in that game, good and bad, right? And now we can watch and see what they do in the second game. Because we're going to see Ewers and we're going to see Zach Wilson again. And we get to witness what they've done with that last week of practice, those 2 practices against the Lions and the walkthrough and then the game. So we'll get to see. How do you underthrow Tanner, Connor? I don't know. Ewers was a 7th round pick, played like a 7th rounder. Yep. Exactly right. And I said that just a minute ago. I think probably right before you came in, Josh. I was just like, yep. It's a 7th round pick, and that's what you would expect. Someone who has a lot to learn, a lot to change, and he's got to grow. And that's where we're at with him. So I'm not disappointed in Quinn Ewers. I think he's got a lot to work on, and I laid out those issues, not disappointed in him at all. But I would like to see some things change for sure. I'll post that link again if anybody wants to jump in. And it's like I said, if you want to jump in with sound only, you're more than welcome to do that, or video. It's up to you. Or if you just want to sit and listen, you can do that too. I'm just going through some thoughts I had about this last game, and then we're going to talk about the Lions game here in a minute. Our defense was incredible. We only had 1 possession of the number 1s playing, and we had 2 of our number 1s out of that team. So I want Wilson and Ewers to be elite clipboard holders. They might already be that. Zach Wilson might already be that. We'll see. What I would like, okay, if Ewers is going to be a clipboard holder, he better not hold that clipboard like he holds the football. He better hold that thing with 2 hands. I don't want to see him drop anything anymore. Okay. So we had 1 possession of defense, of first-team defense in that game. And it was a 3-and-out. It was quick. It was beastly. So with that, that's pretty impressive. I can't ask for any more from our defense. A few players that came in were doing fantastic work. Oh, we got Elwood in the house. You hear me, Elwood?
What's up, Triple F?
What's up?
What's up, Triple F?
I hear you.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you just fine.
Excellent.
The question is, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Right on. So what do you think about the defense?
Man, I loved the defense yesterday. Even the third stringers, they were playing hard. They were running fast. They were doing the jobs.
Yep. I really, really liked what I saw from Zeke Biggers in that second half of football. He played amazing football. I was really
and
impressed
Jordan
with him.
Phillips.
Yep. And Jason Marshall Jr. had a couple fantastic plays in that game as well. I was very impressed with him.
The rookies seem to be doing great.
Yeah. Yep. They look good. It was good to see some positive play from rookies, not just holy crap, what are we doing with these guys? Yeah, and Willie Gay,
Right.
Abel's right. Abel says Willie Gay plays possessed. No joke.
Oh, hey, at the end of the game, Isaiah Johnson was playing great.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, a lot of people are kind of hard on our cornerbacks, but in this game, even our third and fourth set of running or cornerbacks, they played pretty good football.
I believe that's the Weaver touch right there.
Yeah.
He gets them guys, hey, do your job. Do your job. You have this eight square circle. I mean, what do you call it? 8 yards square or whatever. You have to cover at all times. Anything else, you send off to the next guy, and they're doing their job.
Yeah, they're doing a good job. And I think that part of that, obviously, is the amount of pressure that we're getting with our front seven. But, I mean, any good team, you have a good front seven creating pressure and making it to where your cornerbacks don't have to spend so much time in coverage. That's how you get winning defense. And I think that's what we saw a little bit of. It was nice.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
when you get that pressure on that quarterback, he's got to step right, step left. The angle goes from where the angle goes from where it's supposed to be to where the different kind of angle to where the safety's coming down. Minka, I think, is going to have a great year. Oh my God, I think Minka's going to be like our godsend. He's going to be like I believe he'll have 4 or 5 interceptions this year in Weaver's system.
Yeah, the position he's playing at free safety, he's going to have a chance to truly be a free safety, and that's a defensive backfield player's dream, is to be able to do whatever they feel like they need to do to give their team a chance to win. Minka Fitzpatrick is going to have some plays on some balls this year, and I think that is going to wind up being attributed to pretty solid cornerback play. I know people don't want to think that, but
absolutely, which is going to go all the way to the defensive line play, to the edge rushing play. It's going to be a unit of all, like the 5 fingers of a hand. When they work together, they're a fist. You know what I mean? Any individual finger is just weak.
Yep. And let's see here. Finspin says, you got to give Breer some flowers. We have Sealer, Grant, Phillips, and Biggers for at least the next 4 years. Add Chop, Minka, and Patrick Paul, and he's rolling a bit lately. Anybody who's been a member of this channel for more than a couple weeks knows that I have been very, very hard on Chris Greer. And I'm not saying that we're out of the woods and everything's honky-dory, but I am saying that from where I'm sitting and what I'm seeing, he's made some good decisions. I'll save that. But I still feel like he's
the
messed
right
up
way
a few things too. Yeah, I feel like he's messed up a little bit too. And
all of them do. Every one of them do. Jamarcus Russell was the number 1 pick to throw the football through the field goal 75 yards on his knees, and he couldn't throw a out pass, couldn't throw a screen.
Yeah, and he couldn't run 5 yards.
Those guys right there. Right, everybody messes up. Like Cam Smith, and he wanted him to be bad. I mean, he's got to go, man. He's just got to go.
Yeah, on that, Abel says Cam Smith, negative 1 billion. Dude, that's true. Yep. The Cam Smith pick, I think, is an ultimate failure for Chris Greer. I'm pretty disappointed in that. I really thought he was going
to be something. No stuff.
Yeah, Kosa says, what up?
We had quite a few plays in this game yesterday. On Sunday, I say yesterday, Sunday. That was just surprising to me. Like when Ethan Bonner was on that, and he just the tip of the ball, just his hand getting in there, pops up, hits the Big Morris, and he starts running towards the sideline, and he just kind of ran out of bounds. But if you kind of look, if that would have been Minka, he would have looked and seen that there was a cutback angle, and he would have probably took that for another 30 or 40 yards, if not scored.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, I was just so happy to see a pick that I didn't really think about it. I didn't even think about it until later when I was looking at it again in a replay, and I was like, "Oh man, yeah, there was a big hole there to go."
You saw it. You saw it.
Yep. And Ethan Bonner is looking good. So,
like Ollie Gordon's first run when he made that spin and went round to the outside, and he came running, and here comes Pharaoh Brown this way. And I mean, if he'd have just stopped for half a second, Pharaoh was going to take that guy out. The other was that he'd have run that for a touchdown. But like I said, I was so happy that we had a spin, a run for 20-some yards. I'm great. If just like 1 second of hesitation or a cutback, I think he could have took that to the distance.
Definitely. Yeah, it was good to see some
turnovers. Workouts.
Yeah, you gotta love it. It's
more reps, more eye, more vision, more. They're gonna get better with more vision, more reps.
Yep. And so now we're getting into this game against Detroit coming up, and like I said, we get to see these players again and get to see what they've chosen to do with this last week of practice. These two practices with the Lions, the walkthrough, and then the preseason game against them. I'm excited to see how they've just chosen to practice and what they've decided to work on. It's going to be good.
They're not physical enough, according to the guy on Detroit. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I mean, and that we're going to be dealing with that. And hear me out here. We're going to be dealing with players and teams saying that until they're done playing us, or until we decide to change something. And I think that the instance of last week against the Bears in practice, mostly everybody knows the deal with all of that. What's up, Rusty? How you doing?
That's good chalkboard information.
Yep, everybody knows that it was something that was supposed to be thud only, not tackling to the ground, and it ended up being tackling to the ground against the head coach.
Clotheslining, hitting the quarterback. You never hit the quarterback in practice. That's what that red jersey's for.
We got a couple, injuries from it and everything else. Yep, it's not great from last week. So I think that some people are like, well, McDaniel should have gone over to the head coach from the Bears and said, hey, this is not what we agreed upon. And I agree with a couple other Dolphins podcasters that said, well, that wouldn't have been the right way to handle that. It was better just to deal with it.
Exactly
And
right.
I agree.
Stop pushing me.
Yeah, it would have made us look incredibly
we'll take it back.
weak. So
yeah.
And Rusty, I agree. I was happy with the game this weekend. It was a good game to watch. It was entertaining. A lot of good player development type situations for us to check out. Cliff says Greer's been with the Fins 25 plus years without contributing to one playoff win. How's that record? Yep, you're right. And while those 25 years weren't all spent as GM, obviously a lot of that was spent as a recruiter. Not as a GM, but it's still a long time as a GM as well for him, and you would have expected better results at this point. And I think it's just because he gets stuck on certain players and stuff, and rather than listening to people around him, he continues and does what he wants to do anyway, and that's got to change.
We'll all find out week 1.
No, well, we haven't gotten there yet. We're still on defense now and offense. But let's just move to the special teams, because I know Abel wants to talk about it, and I kind of do too, because how often do we get to say something good about special teams as Dolphins fans? Like
4 different returners.
And they all did great.
4 different returners.
They were fantastic. We had a 57-yard field goal from Jason Sanders. Was great. You got to love it when you hit a 55-plus yarder, no matter where you are, who you are. We had great kicking by Ryan Stonehouse. Even Jason Sanders on the kickoffs. It was great to see. He was pinning that ball right where it needed to be to force them to return it.
Oh, besides that little hiccup he did with the
right,
the
one bad one. Yeah, but for the most part, he did great. Our coverage was on kickoff and punts were amazing. I loved that we regularly had less than an 8-yard return on kicks and punts. That was great. You can't expect much better than that on coverage. And then as far as the offensive side of special teams, like we already touched on, the kick returns were incredible. I mean, we were just gouging the other team. It was great to see.
I loved it.
And yeah, you can't expect much better than that.
No, heck no. You're catching the ball and you're running for 25, 28 yards, 30 yards. Good my gracious.
Mm-hmm.
I saw something other too with the with D. Estrich. It's hard to get rid of him. He is really good on special teams.
Yeah, it's
hard. He did his first run.
We're gonna have a hard time.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
We're gonna have a hard time on special teams, just because not with the play, but with finding out. We're gonna have a hard time picking 53 men for this roster, and I think it's because of how great everyone is playing on special teams. That's usually the deciding factor.
Yeah, see, I'm down with Detroit and Jag. I don't care if the starters play or not. I want to play the other 38 players. You know what I mean? I want to see what they do. I already know what I got with my starters. I mean, I feel like I know that they know and they know and we know what they got. I want to see these other guys make the team and, hey, I'm the guy you can't cut.
Yeah. Rusty, you bring up a good point there. I'm going to have a hard time getting it in from the one. Hopefully you guys pick up Williams. So, number one, I really hope we pick up Williams too. I would love that. But I'm assuming you're talking about that first possession where they got down to the 1 yard line and ended up not getting in the end zone. You got to keep in mind there, and like I'm not making a bunch of excuses, but you got to keep in mind there that McDaniel was calling 3 specific plays there because he wanted to test specific running backs. That's all he was doing. Running backs and our tackles. That's what he wanted to test out. Tackles, guards, and running backs. So he wasn't calling for effect. I don't know if that makes sense. He was calling for players to have an opportunity to try something. Everybody there knew what they were doing, and they did it anyway.
Absolutely.
Josh, you hear me?
What's up, fellas?
What's up?
How's it going?
Good to see you. Well, hear you.
What's up, Josh?
Hey, what's up, boss?
Yeah, so I really think that they could have gotten into the end zone pretty easily there had they made a different play call, but they were calling the same play every time for a reason.
You talking about the four and out in the red zone?
Yeah, we're talking about that right at the beginning of the game, the first possession.
Yeah, honestly, man, to me, I mean, we talked about this on the show last night, Anthony and I. And, to me, that was a scripted play on purpose, right? That was clearly Mike McDaniel working and practicing something very specific that is very hard to practice when you're padded up against your own defense because you don't want to injure anyone, right? Or going up against,
I agree.
Yeah, or even when you're going up against another team like Chicago in joint practices, it's hard, right? So I think in game it was very clearly specific that it was, we're going to do this and we're going to do it until we get it. And you saw throughout the game it progressed, and we got rushing touchdowns in the red zone, which was awesome to see. Which is something, seeing Mike McDaniel commit to the run game like that was a breath of fresh air, as opposed to screen plays after screen play after screen play.
Yeah, definitely. It was good to see. I like I said, I wish the results would have been a little different there, but I knew what they were doing. I could see it, and the Bears knew what they were doing too.
Yeah.
There it is.
We had a few offensive line stumbles there, though. You know what I mean? They should have blocked better on a couple of those plays.
Yeah, people want to blame the running backs or like Jalen Wright for hitting the wrong hole or doing this, that, and the other. And the fact of the matter is, it takes all 11 to make a play like that work, right? And Jonah whiffed on a play. You know what I mean? Which he's a rookie, right? I mean, that's to be expected. Jalen Wright hit the wrong hole on the second play. I mean, so shit happens, right? But the fact is, Mike McDaniel stuck with it, and it was awesome to see.
Yeah, the linebacker cuts flying through a free hole. Nobody blocks him at all. You know.
Yep.
Hey,
you know what that really showed me was how much Alec Ingold means to this team. Like, we didn't, like, all of us already know that, right? But the fact that he's out injured, you could tell we were missing a fullback.
Yeah. Cosa Nostra. Zeke Biggers is 6'6", 320 pounds.
Yeah, he looks like a human bowling ball.
Dude, he's huge.
Yeah, he's massive. Yeah.
A refrigerator with legs.
Rusty says, when I saw Larry Borum on the field for you guys, I was like, oh no. But hey, Rusty, I will say this about Larry Borum. He had a couple boo-boos during the game, but he didn't play as bad as I thought he would.
Nope. And I can confirm that because I watched the All-22 tape just today.
Yep, me too. I just finished watching that yesterday, and I was very, very pleased.
Yeah, and he was playing out of position, right? I mean, for us, he's not a right tackle. Sorry. Yeah. He should never be a right tackle.
Agreed. 6'6" with an 85.5.
Brayden Daniels played very well for a backup. Addison West played well.
Yep.
Sure did.
We had a couple players not play well, but for the most part, I was really, really impressed with a lot of our younger players, especially. And like I said, Zeke Biggers, it was hard to watch that game and not notice that man taking up the space of 3 or 4 players.
Yep.
That was It was incredible to watch.
He almost blocked a field goal. He was like 3 inches away from blocking a field goal.
And my thing with Zeke is we're not going to have him playing every play, obviously. But my thing with Zeke Biggers is if they can just count on him for 2, 3, 4, 5 plays a game right now, and just have him get some confidence and gain some experience, I think it's the biggest thing in the world for him. He's going to be – he has the opportunity to be something special in this league.
I mean, I'll tell you what. So does Phillips, and obviously,
and George Phillips.
Yes, I keep sleeping on Jordan
George Phillips is still a baby. George Phillips is only 20 years old. Come on now, you know. He's a baby. He's still got baby fat on him. He's not even being a grown man yet. When he turns 23, he will push. He'll be like an Aaron Donald kind of player. Not, I'm saying he's going to be Aaron Donald, but an Aaron Donald kind of player.
He has the opportunity for sure.
Yeah. And Frozen, I will say this. I heard your comment about the cornerbacks a little bit earlier ago, and I'll tell you what, I am less worried about our cornerbacks this year than I was about our safeties last year, which should tell you a lot.
Yeah. I'll admit that I was a little nervous going into that first preseason game because I really wanted to see how some of the other players were going to do. Like I knew, obviously, because I'm wearing the jersey, I knew Storm Duck was going to be righteous. I knew that, but beyond that, I wanted to see some of these other players. And I, after seeing the game, I was very impressed with our second, third, and fourth string cornerbacks. Very impressed.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's still the clear and obvious weakness of this roster, right? But I don't think it's as big of a liability as, you know, every media outlet is making it seem. You know what I mean?
Jack Jones had an interception call back. You know, that was kind of ticky-tacky.
Yeah, that was such crap.
Yeah, that was horse shit. That was ticky-tacky. He played that perfectly. Over the shoulder, you know what I mean? Caught that. Yeah, good.
Definitely. I was who is it? It was Jason Marshall Jr. had a couple really good plays that I mentioned it earlier.
He sure did.
And I really want to see
Jason Marshall.
So hopefully we get to see some
Marshall Dillon at Dade City.
Yep.
We had a couple guys play good. Bonner. Marshall.
Jesus, here we go. With the Tua take.
So I'm okay with Tyreek's contract, but not right now. I want to. I think we need to wait until the end of the season.
Well, here's the thing, Frozen. Right, with that, I would take. Actually, if we could get something for him, I'd take it now because here's the deal.
Yeah.
Right, you know what you get from him, right? You're getting a headache, and you're getting a player that plays on the field. However, at the end of the season, if you let him go, he's walking for nothing because we all know that we're not keeping him for $53 million next year, right?
Definitely
so we're
not.
letting him go. So we can find somebody to take that contract, and we can get anything in return. I mean, I think those fans that are sitting there expecting a second-round pick for him are crazy, right? But you know, if we could get anything in return, maybe trade him to Las Vegas for Mayer, the tight end that they're not using or something. You know what I mean?
But hey, if he balls out first 4 weeks, maybe we could throw. You know, what I mean, get it. You know, what can we get from him then? You know?
Yeah.
Some of this I could get behind, but the part I can't get behind is the suck for Manning part. I can't do it. I can't get behind it. I just
there's a lot of great quarterbacks in college coming up next year. You don't need to suck for Manning. You know, there's the sellers that are. You know, there's several quarterbacks. My mind is blank right at the moment, but there's several quarterbacks. Newsmeyer, Allar. I mean, there's several quarterbacks coming up. You know, I mean, that can hold the clipboard behind Tua for 1 year until he is, you know, his 27th season, and we get rid of his contract. Then they can start. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure that the out for Tua is after this year.
So after this year, if we can cut Tua, and I think it's a
lot of money. But
I think it's like 28. I think it's a 28 million. I think it would be the cap hit, or something like that. And then all of his
27, we get rid of him on.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I hate to break it to everyone. Tua's not going anywhere. So
nope, Tua's not going anywhere. I agree.
You know what I mean?
I just hope that he can kind of deliver on some of the things that he hasn't delivered as much lately, which would be
AKA staying healthy.
staying healthy and
That's
winning a
all.
couple
That's all
big
we need
games.
him to do, bro.
Yeah.
That's all we need him to do. Stay healthy. Because
Stay healthy
this
and-
Yeah,
this
y'all guys
offense-
remember Chad Pennington? Chad
Yes,
Pennington had a great year, every even year. Every odd year, he didn't do good. So it's the exact opposite with Tua. Every odd year, he does good. So it's 21, 23, 25. This is the year.
Yeah, I'll tell you this: when Tua's healthy and he stays healthy, we're a top 10 offense, whether you like Tua or not, right? And I get it; it's a polarizing topic.
Yeah.
It's very easy to hate Tua because he doesn't have a Josh Allen arm and he's not 7 feet tall, and I get it,
Yeah,
right? But this offense is built for this quarterback. And
Sure.
look at if you count the 2 quarterbacks that we played in this first preseason, we've played 7 other quarterbacks over last year in this first preseason game, and none of them have looked good.
Yeah.
Including the Prince Skylar Thompson that everyone was saying, oh, he should start over Tua. Like, I'm sorry, like that's not the case, right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying Tua's a top 5 quarterback. I'm not even saying he's a top 10 quarterback. But the fact of the matter is, y'all better get used to seeing Tua because he's not going anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah. Yep. And my favorite Bears fan here says, it doesn't happen that way in the modern NFL, though. The fan base will go rabid for whichever new toy. And I do. And number one, Rusty, I understand your qualm as a Bears fan and the new toy syndrome. And I would agree with you that as Dolphins fans, dude, we're seeing the same thing in our fan base.
Mm-hmm.
Like 100% agree with you there. The fan base as a whole, not as a whole, I guess, but I would say maybe just under half of the fan base is either totally for Tua or totally against Tua, and then there's a very small portion of us that are just kind of in the middle of the road going, well, he's good, he just needs to work on some things. And it's not very common to be middle of the road with Tua.
No, but I'll tell you what, Frozen, right? As a fellow media guy, he's awesome to have as a quarterback because it's nothing but content.
Oh, sure. You could make a video every week of just nothing but 2 hours of Tua, and it would get watches for sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of Tua haters and a lot of Tua lovers.
Well, I'll tell you what I am. I like Tua, but I don't hate him and I don't love him. I actually have Tua ranked at number 12 before the season starts as quarterback, number 12 in the NFL.
It's actually like a really good spot for him.
Right
I think
now,
I had him at 13, right? But
yep,
6-1.
He could finish better than that. He could finish worth. It all just depends on what he does this year.
Do y'all think there's like secret inside they're doing work with Darren Waller, Waddle, and Tyreek Hill where nobody sees and and they're just over there playing by themselves. You know what I mean? Because I believe Darren Waller, he's eating some Big Macs because he's in wide receiver shape, not tight end shape. He needs to eat a couple Big Macs and learn the playbook. Darren Waller is a beast. I mean, I don't care if he retired for 1 year or not. He did that high rocks or whatever. If you see him, he looks like a Greek god. Yeah, he's just built like he needs to get some weight onto him so get some durability. So I believe that
they're going to have.
What do
to
y'all
put
think?
him
Go
in the
ahead.
game. They're going to have to put him in and start getting him some reps because I want to see what he can do. And we're going to run out of preseason unless they start doing something with him. He's not injured. No, Cliff, he hasn't started practice yet. He might have started.
I think Tua is throwing on the side with him and nobody knows about it.
No, he did. He started practice this week or at the end of last week, but they're slow ramping him up because again, he's been off for a year. He's not in football shape. He's in phenomenal shape I wish I was in his shape, right?
Right.
But from a football standpoint, he's not in anywhere near football shape, and they're saying that he might play a little bit in the third preseason game. The problem is they don't want to risk injury because he's our best option at tight end right now.
Yeah. Yep.
With the wingspan, my God, could you see? I mean, Jonnu Smith did the greatest record of broke records for the Dolphins last year, and he was just like the turn and catch guy, fall forward 4 yards, run a couple yards. Darren Waller has a wingspan and some speed, and
I'd be super careful though. I'd be super careful trying to put all that on him. I mean, we don't know what we're going to get. We might get 3 years ago Darren Waller where he had like 14 touchdowns and whatever the hell it was. Or we might get 3 games in, he's like, you know what, my body ain't ready for this. I'm retiring again. But I will tell
Honestly,
you this: I think Nick Westbrook-Akine, and sorry, Frozen,
no,
I'm
you're
on a
good. You're
slight
good.
delay. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but
You're good.
um, Nick Westbrook-Akine is going to take all of those Johnu snaps and those routes.
Yeah.
Watch it.
Yep, I
NWI,
agree.
yes, I
And
like it.
my only thought for Waller is it's a really simple thought for Waller. He is a little older, like I said, and you guys both said, he's been out for a year. And my thought for Waller is he needs to be in the game on 12 set situations. So in the goal line situation, when we have 2 tight ends, he needs to be in the game to jump at 50-50 balls in the back of the end zone, streaking across under the goal post. That's what I want Darren Waller to do. Other than that, he doesn't even need to play. I mean, in Mike McDaniel's offense,
Right.
a pass catching tight end is not what we need. So, especially when you have a wide receiver 3 like Westbrook.
You think he's wide receiver 3?
No, Westbrook is wide. Well, he could be. Right now, he's listed as our 3rd wide receiver, but they're likely going to play him as a 2 and move Waddle or Hill into the nickel or into the 3rd.
Oh, I think NWI is number 4 on the list. I think Malik Washington is everything you want in a wide receiver 3.
My only issue with that,
So much size.
is then we have 3 receivers under 5'11", and I think that we could situationally rotate Westbrook in and out, but I just wish that we would more frequently have a little more size at one point on the field.
Oh, for sure. When you came onto to our show, we talked about it, right? Where
Yep.
we like there's a bunch of Ferraris in a snowstorm right now. We need the lifted F-150 with mud tires, and that's Nick
Right.
Westbrook-Akine. That's Darren Waller. I fully understand that, but I think situationally you'll see Westbrook-Akine as the 3. I think with the trust that Tua and Mike McDaniel have in Malik, we're talking maybe like 45% rep
Don't
share.
forget about the other Washington brother.
Yeah, no, Taj is going to be phenomenal. He's going to be our primary returner. Watch.
Yeah, I don't see any way that
I don't know that guy
Washington
yet.
brothers don't make the team. That's for sure. They're going to be on the
How
team.
can you keep him off the field? He makes everybody miss. He juked the same guy twice
Yeah.
and made that guy fall into another guy.
Yeah, and one guy, he made him miss twice on the same play. That was hilarious. I had to rewind that and watch it a couple times.
That's skill. You can't teach that. That's you're born with that or you're not.
Yep. Hey, Frozen, I got to jump, man. I got a
dude.
meeting with my other host, and we got to get
hey,
ready
real
for the
quick,
next show.
everybody here, 305 Gridiron. Go check it out on YouTube. Make sure you guys sub the channel. It's a new channel, and it's got good content. This guy does a good job. Go make sure you give a sub to him.
Hey, I appreciate the call out, brother. That's not why I joined, but I appreciate it.
Yeah, but you knew it was going to happen. It had to.
Come on. I'm here to support you, not the other way around, my guy. But I appreciate
for coming,
it,
dude.
All right, big guy. We'll talk soon.
All right, 305.
All right. Yeah. That's Josh. He's a fantastic guy. He's got a good channel. He just started up, so go support him. I don't care what he says. Go support him. We gotta support these smaller YouTube channels, man. There's a lot of good content going out by them, and they just kind of fall under the radar.
Hey, Triple F. At the end of the game, that pass and then the flip back and the flip back. I thought, I was sitting there. Oh my God, here we go with the Miami Miracle again. And he threw it short to Theo East. I said that was wide open.
Yeah,
I was like, "Are we going to win this game or one of those?"
That was a crazy end to the game. For a brief
I only
second
made
there,
2 guys,
like,
man. He took it to the outside, went inside, ran, jumped up, and threw it, but he was short. Yeah, damn.
Yeah, I guess we can't have miracles at the end of every game, but yeah, that was interesting to watch for sure.
I rose up on the seat. I was standing up. I had my hand on my head. I was like, oh, here it goes. Oh, shit. That was like the last thing.
Oh, man. Yep. It was a good one. By the way, anybody who's in here, if you haven't subbed or you haven't thrown a like down, make sure you do that. Helps out with the algorithm on the YouTube. helps people notice, hey, there's a guy with Frozen Fin fan on his name. What's that about? And helps them check me out. So make sure you throw it down. Yeah, I Rusty says I was sitting there going, "Oh no, not this." Yep, it was entertaining, that's for sure. It was like I said, for a 24-24 tie, it was a fun game to watch. I enjoyed a lot of it. So
I was better than we lost, and I was okay. We didn't win. Tie is. I was like, yeah, okay, I can deal with this.
Yeah, I could imagine most Bear fans sitting there saying that right there when that started to happen. But it didn't. Finished with a tie. It is what it is. The Bears can move on. Hopefully Caleb Williams can get past the issues that he seems to be having.
Oh yeah, we definitely can't get rid of Taj Washington. He was like Caleb Williams is like #1 target in college. If some kind of way we let him go, he's picked up immediately. You know, I mean, he's going straight to Chicago. I can already see that. You know, he was his #1 target, USC.
Finspin says he's only at 42 subs. You guys make sure you go rectify that. We got to fix this.
That like button, dude. Subscribe.
Oh man. Yeah, and here we are. You know, we're starting this new week. Tomorrow begins practice for the Detroit Lions with the Lions. I can't wait to see how that goes.
We got Dante Trader coming back.
Yep. And that's going to be good to see. Another player that I want to see some work put on the field on. I cannot wait to see how he starts doing.
That lacrosse skill he has, man. You know, when you play lacrosse, I don't know if you've ever played it or not. It's like a lot of face to face. You know what I mean? Right, left, juking and running and bumping, and it's you know what I'm saying. That it's pure defense, and he just does it really well to me.
Yeah, and I my only thought here is I wonder if they're going to let Jalen Waddle or Tyreek Hill get a play or two in this game against the Lions. I'm not too sure.
I hope not.
Yeah, I don't really see a need for it, but I
hope not. I know what they can do.
Waddle. I can see Jalen Waddle insisting on at least.
I'm saying I hope not. I hope Big McDaniel says nope. We know what you got. Run on the sideline if you want to. We're not getting you hurt. You know, the Detroit guys, you know what I mean? These other 3 or 4 third strings, you know, they're trying to make, a name for themselves. Why not take a hit on, a good player? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Try to make the team and that, yeah. Now my guys out for 6 weeks. I don't know. I know what they got. They know how to play. These are the weeks for the young guys, for the guys making the team. This are the guys from the 30 to 53. They're, you know what I mean? We know who the starting 11 and the other starting 11 on both sides are. Now, who's going to make the team or take a spot?
Yeah, definitely. Man, I'm over here looking at the Lions depth chart, and we think we have it bad with injuries. I mean, again, this year they just have so many injuries, so many players out.
That's my point. Let's not get our guys hurt.
They've got 4 defensive linemen out. 4 of their defensive linemen are out for this game. That's crazy. Ooh, man. It's going to be an interesting one to watch. I want to see how the practices go. I'm just going to be scanning Twitter tomorrow.
Right, true.
Going to be good.
Travis Wakefield is the best guy to follow him. He's like right on top of every play.
Yeah.
He tells you what's happening.
Dan Campbell will bite our knees off. Oh man.
I don't know. Mike McDaniel got in the middle of a scruff the other day to stop it up, didn't he?
What's that?
In the middle of the fight, Mike McDaniel ran down there with his 5'4" or 120 pounds, stop everybody from fighting, right?
Yeah, he jumped right in the middle of it. I thought it was absolutely hilarious. I mean, scary. I mean, especially considering, it was already an instance of a coach getting punched in the face earlier in the week with the
Right. I was thinking,
Patriots.
bye, we come to save the day. Mighty Mouse is on his way.
Definitely didn't want to see Mike McDaniel laying in a pile in the middle of a scrum. So I was glad that he made it out.
But he had the guts to fly in there, though.
Yeah, and it was interesting.
Yeah. I'm pretty
Anthony,
sure he
what's
didn't
up,
think he
dude?
was going to get hurt.
Oh man, yeah, I love these joint practices with these physical teams. I think it really helps our guys set the tone we want going into the start of the season. I agree 100%. It gives us a chance to do that, and that's what we need, especially with this team with the Dolphins. That's what we're wanting right now. We're wanting a tone setter. We want our tone set differently than what it has been, and this is the chance for that. So I agree.
Hey, did you notice when Ollie Gordon was on the field? At certain times, he was lining up like 7 yards deep. You know, he was like way back there. You know what I mean? Like old school. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And when he
deep
got
eye.
that head of steam running, you know what I mean? He was going forward.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? We've been playing a lot of these, you know what I mean, where the quarterback's at on the center and, like say Jalen or they're like 3 yards back. Well, they line, they line Ollie back, like I said, 7 yards. When he, down said hike, he was coming with a head of steam.
yep.
And he made a couple cuts and he made a couple things and he fell forward every time.
Yeah.
I kind of really like that,
Yeah, I like the running style from Ollie Gordon. I don't know how much longevity you can expect out of a running back like Ollie Gordon, not because of the physicality, but the pad level that he runs at. He doesn't
Run
get
so
low.
high.
Yeah, he runs so high. So it does concern me a little bit with him, but while he's young, if he doesn't want to change his pad level, you can't really force someone to do that. It's a decision they have to make as a running back. Generally, it means you have to learn how to do it all over again. So it's up to him, but I would love to see him change his pad level just a little bit and get a little lower and protect his lower body a little more.
Seemed like he got a little calves though too. You see that? You know what I mean? He's like got a little calves.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? He's like big from the knees up. He's got like little calves.
He needs to not skip calf day, apparently.
Oh, maybe that's just the way he cuts or something. But yeah, he's like, I don't know. It's weird looking, like a stick man,
Rusty, I hope Mike McDaniel wasn't wearing his capris. Oh my goodness. I don't know what's up with the capris. We'll just leave that at that, I guess. As a Dolphins fan, I don't understand.
He must got hot feet, you never know.
Oh man. I think that's all I got today. I think that I'm gonna do what I'm planning on is I'm planning on trying to get a stream going on Saturday for the game, and that's the next live stream. I'm probably gonna put a video out the day before the game, just kind of a preview, things to look for type of situation, and we'll go from there on into the weekend. But Elwood, thanks for coming in, man. I appreciate you stopping in and chatting with me. It was a good time.
Heck yeah, I always love hanging out with you.
Right on. Everybody make sure before you leave, please stop and give a like. If you haven't subscribed, please do that. And I will have more content out this week. In the meantime, everybody enjoy the practices this week. Enjoy the updates on what's happening in those practices. Follow them. Pay attention. Keep looking for stuff and see what's going on. And make sure that you guys stop back by on Saturday for the live stream during the game. Put the game on, put the stream on, and let's have a good time together. Everybody, thanks for watching. Rusty, thanks
Fins
for
up
stopping
always.
in. Thanks, Rusty, for stopping in. Everybody's favorite Bears fan. Everybody have a good evening. Thanks for coming. And we'll talk to you guys later. Fins up and stay hopeful if you can.